Morning guys, how's it going? My name is Chunk Factor, and today I'd love to take you through how I edit images in VSCO on the iPhone 12 Pro RRXL Max. After I import an image into VSCO, I basically just tap through the 7 million presets in here until I find one that I like. In this instance, I mean, I wasn't joking. I think it's 7.5 million presets at this point. I think there's an update coming next week to take it to 15 billion, but we'll have to see how that goes. So for now, I've gone for FP8. And once you've selected that, you can go in and adjust all this other stuff, but I have not. So I've just gone with basic FP8, which I think is let me go back actually. Is that a Fuji Pro 800Z for you film nerds out there? Boom. Click on the next tab, which is this kind of slider thing. And we're now at the stage of, okay, we've added a kind of film preset. What are we doing? So first thing I usually do, go to my white balance and I go, what mood do I want this to be? Do I want this to be really cool? Do I want it to be really warm? I thought, concrete, man-made, black car. Each sense kind of goes super cool, then add a bit of green into it as well. So we're kind of around this type vibe. Think vignette, add a strong vignette. Get some mood going in there, really focus on the center of the image where that car is. Go back to the beginning. Okay, so go to my exposure and go, right, so we've got our vibe set up. I usually drop exposure all the way down on iPhone stuff because you can see immediately, it just adds in so much more mood and color. It looks awesome. Gonna need a bit of contrast punched back in there, so let's say somewhere around here. And now you're like, wow, that's unusable. I agree, it is unusable, but it won't be. Clarity, I don't usually use clarity, if I'm honest with you guys, but because it's car photography, it kind of just adds that little bit of pop around all the highlights on the body panels and stuff, so we're gonna add a little bit of that. Boom. Saturation, that's to taste. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit so it's super stylized and in your face. Sharpening and grain, which I think is further along. Don't use those yet. There's a bug going on where if you use them, or at least for me, when I use them on the iPhone 12 Pro, I'm getting unusable photos when I save them out. They look really pixelated and horrible, so avoid those. Not like you need sharpening anyway, though. I mean, these images look crazy sharp. So now we've kind of adjusted our vignette, our white balance, our clarity, contrast, exposure. We kind of got this thing going on. Already looks badass, just slightly unusable in the shadows. So go into the tone mapping, push the shadows up a touch, and we're pretty much done. Highlights, interesting slider. The first half knocks the highlights down. The second half, boosts them. It also changes the color slightly. You can see it's kind of going red. It's weird. I don't know why it does that, but it's interesting. So I'm gonna kind of, doesn't really change too much, so I'll just kind of leave it halfway. That puts us somewhere around here. And then I'm gonna go lastly to split tone. Split toning is an interesting one, guys. I usually do everything cold or everything warm, or complementary colors. So say for example, that'd be like purple and a yellow, or green and a red, or orange and a blue. I mean, it's almost like they've laid them out for you on purpose to be complementary colors. Shadows. I'm gonna add a bit of red because we've got this kind of bluey green thing going on in the image. So if I add a bit of red into the shadows, not only is it going to lift them, so for example, if I do this, it gives the impression of more detail in the shadows, obviously, but they're too red. And then I'm gonna add some green for complementary colors into my highlights. Kind of turn that down a little bit. So we've got this thing going on. And then HSL, hue, saturation, lightness. You basically just, all it means is hue, you're shifting the color. Do we want it purple or more green if we're on blue, like if we were on green, but there isn't anything in here to adjust. So, I mean, the yellow and orange doesn't really attack the sign in the background much either, so it's hard to show you. So I'm only doing it on blue, but you know, are we shifting blue more towards purple or more towards kind of green? So I reckon somewhere on there looks kind of cool. Saturation, do we want it black and white if we drag it all the way down? Or do we want it super punchy and in your face? Neon light style. And then lightness is just how bright do we want it? I'm kind of going to go somewhere around there. It's just by eye, just whatever you think looks good. Save that bad boy. And hey, presto! Look at that! We've sprinkled some insanely luscious all over the images. Boom. Job done. Now that we've smashed through that in VSCO on iPhone. Love this thing so much. I'm really not an Apple fanboy, but I am recording this on an iPad and using an iPhone. I'm a fucking Apple fanboy! But you can use anything. You can use Lightroom, you can use the millions of other apps on both ecosystems. Is there even more than 2 ecosystems anymore? I think we've got Android and iOS, and do Windows make phones anymore? I'm behind the times. But hopefully that guy, oh my god, hopefully that helped you guys out with regards to how I go about approaching color toning and grading, or whatever you want to call it, shooting stuff and editing it all on the phone. So I don't even own a camera. This is my camera, and that's it. I'm terrible at signing these things off. So watch my vlogs, like, subscribe, and all that shit. Love you. Bye. I'm gonna need music for this, man. Today we're gonna be looking at VSCO color grading. No. Yeah, today we're gonna be looking at VSCO color grading, man.
Today we're gonna be looking at VSCO color grading on the iPhone.
Hello. Are you interested in ordering some VSCO color grading with your iPhone photography? Well, today we can serve that up for you in our fine dining selects.
What is up, guys? I'm here in sunny LA, and we're gonna be smashing out some color grades in VSCO. See you on the other side.
Today we're going to be doing the color grade.